Tom Emmer. He is the House Majority Whip and representative out of Minnesota. Congressman, how you doing, sir?
Doing great, Mike. Great day. We're going to have a little fun tonight.
Great to talk to you. I know. I'm hoping for it. I'm very excited. It's at 9 o'clock Eastern, though. It's so late, Tom. Why is everything so late? But I'm early to bed. That's my bedtime. But we'll stay up late for this. Let's talk your job first. What is the latest on the SAVE Act and budget funding?
Well, as people should know, Speaker Johnson has proposed a stopgap spending bill that includes Chip Roy's SAVE Act, which you're referring to, which incredibly would ensure that only American citizens, Mike, are voting in federal elections. By the way, 87% of Americans, so that's Republicans, Democrats, and others, believe in what the SAVE Act would accomplish. We're going to meet this morning in conference to talk about the Speaker's plan and our path forward. The Speaker has been leaning in pretty hard on this, and we'll see how it goes in the next day or two. But I'm confident that with his involvement, he can get this done. The fact that Democrats, Mike, are calling a bill that ensures safe and secure elections a, quote, poison pill should tell Americans everything they need to know about these Democrats' priorities.
Yeah, they call it Career Jean-Pierre, whatever it is. I called it a partisan poison bill.
Yeah.
So the Democrats always get the upper hand on this, Congressman. They always get the upper hand on a government shutdown. You're throwing grandma off the cliff. Are you guys really willing to go all the way to make this one happen?
Well, now you've gone above my pay grade. That is the Speaker's call. And he has been very consistent and clear that this is what he intends to do. And he's going to fight to the bitter end. We'll see what that means. Again, he's leaning into it hard, and I'm confident that he'll be able to get it done.
And I guess the other question is even the continuing resolution a good thing? Like, is all the spending that's in that bill even good?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, you're not going to solve this problem until you have the White House, the Senate, and the House. You're going to get one chance to do that. In this case, the House has passed a little over 70%, Mike, of all the spending already. We did that months ago. The Senate has yet to pass one of them. They have done nothing. So the Senate has put us in this predicament. And as people who watch this ridiculous car accident happen every year, it is usually the Senate and the White House that conspire against the House. And the House has got to take a stand one of these days to make it very clear that the power of the purse is in the House, and the House is going to exercise that power.
Let's talk about tonight. So what are you looking for out of tonight? What would make a successful night for Trump?
Well, I'm going to tell you, Mike, the moment Kamala Harris takes the debate stage tonight and has to explain her policies with no notes or teleprompters is the moment her campaign is over. I have no doubt that Donald Trump will expose Harris for the San Francisco radical that she is and make the contrast between his America First agenda and her America Last agenda crystal clear. So that's what I expect. One guy has something to sell. The other one just has wishes and you know what, right? In one hand, wishes, and something else in the other hand. Neither one of them is good, but Donald Trump knows how to get an economy moving for everyone. Donald Trump knows how to seal the southern border and stop this crime wave across this country. And Donald Trump knows how to maintain peace and stability around the world. And the problem Kamala Harris and the Democrats have is Americans, all Americans, whether they like Donald Trump or they don't, know that he did it once before. He and Joe broke it, and he's going to fix it. So I think he's going to do well tonight, Mike.
So I do. I also think she'll do well. I think she will be able to articulate things well enough that she will get a passing grade, and she's doing dress rehearsal after dress rehearsal, and she delivered it good when she went against Biden. I was that girl, or whatever. She got away with that. Now, there are 15 people on stage, and she only had to do one hit. This time she has 90 minutes, so we'll see if she can do a bunch of those. I don't know about that, but I think she'll do well enough for the media to go gaga.
I'm going to tell you, we should not underestimate her ability to do this. Maybe this will be controversial, but I think she's a pathological liar. It doesn't matter what she did. Doesn't matter that she was involved. I mean, the most recent one is the Afghanistan withdrawal. She blames Trump for the loss of 13 lives with that botched withdrawal. And she takes credit for being in the war room when the final decision was made to withdraw. So she just says whatever she wants to say without regard for the truth. And the problem that we all have is this corrupt left-wing media that we have. They don't necessarily hold someone like that accountable. They don't call her out. So we need to. And I think, again, you're right. She can say whatever she wants. But people, when it comes to the choice, it's are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? The answer is clearly no. Who's the one who's been in the office and responsible for this versus who's the one who actually built an economy that works, secured the southern border, and kept peace and stability around the globe? Again, Mike, pretty easy choice as long as that contrast is made.
I want to play this for you here. I've had people send this to me. They're worried that this is very convincing, that this is a good attack ad against Trump. I just want to play the beginning, like 15 seconds, and this first response and see how you, if you were just a regular guy and not a congressman, someone came up to you and said, well, how would you rebuttal this?
2016, Donald Trump said he would choose only the best people to work in his White House. Now those people have a warning for America. Trump is not fit to be president again. Here's his vice president.
Anyone who puts themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. It should come as no surprise that I will not be endorsing Donald Trump this year.
And it goes on and gives a bunch of other high-ranking people that will definitely come up tonight. Kamala, no question, will say your own former vice president doesn't endorse you, but the whole party endorses him, whatever. How do you respond to that?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is obviously those people were not the best people. He did not. He wasn't interested in having people that are not in to get the entire job done. It's the same thing with Liz Cheney. It's bitterness. How would I respond to it? Look, I'd go back every single time, Mike, to people can say what they want. You can like me, you can dislike me, but at the end of the day, I fixed it once. They broke it. She broke it over the last 4 years. I can fix it again. And it's the economy, it's the border, and it's safety and security around the world. I think it's a pretty easy message, and that's how you rebut it.
I like that. I fixed it. They broke it. I can fix it again. Yeah, that's pretty good. I love this. MSNBC gal said, we're very excited to see Liz Cheney, a very important voice among conservatives, come out and say she's supporting. It's like, what? Who, to whom is Liz Cheney? What conservatives is she an important voice for?
Well, you might ask Harriet Hageman, because Harriet Hageman is a conservative voice for Wyoming, and unfortunately, Liz was a Virginia resident that was part of the swamp.
What is so we've talked a lot today about Springfield. I know you've probably been focused on different things. I don't know if you've had a chance to see about the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
And you're in Minnesota and Somali population there, whatever. What people are trying to voice their concerns, and they're just being called racist for it, right? But trying to voice their concerns when you have a town of 60,000 people that now has 20,000 Haitians in it. Like, what? What do you say to those people of that town?
Well, and it's 20,000 in just the last 4 years, Mike. So, look, first question is, are they here legally? If they're here legally, great. Second issue is if they are not being good citizens, just like anybody else. It doesn't matter what your race is, your ethnic origin. If you are not obeying the rule of law, if you are not being a positive contribution to the community, again, in accordance with the rule of law, then people have every right to call them out. I mean, this new world that we live in, that for some reason, the application of justice, which is supposed to be equal for every human being, regardless of race, religion, or other origin, Mike, is insane. We can't base the rule of law on race or religion or anything else. It has to be equally applied. So I would say that the residents of Springfield, and again, I don't live there. I don't have this information personally, so I'm not making that judgment call. But if there is an issue, they have every right to bring it up.
What is your final advice? Donald Trump's about to walk on stage, and he calls you up real quick. He says, Tom, I'm feeling a little nervous, Tom. What do? I need one last piece of advice. What do you give him?
Let her talk, sir. let her talk. I mean, this is the one where his policies are so clear and they were so effective. You've got a lot of people out there that they may not necessarily love the president's personality, but they all agree that when he was in office, his policies actually made lives better for all Americans and arguably for people around the globe, Mike. And I would just tell him, just make that clear and let her talk, because without notes, without a teleprompter, even though I agree with you, I think you shouldn't underestimate her. She'll come across as, having something to say. But boy, you got to let her talk, because she has no understanding of economic growth. She has no understanding of foreign policy, and she has no interest in securing the southern border. And that should be pretty clear from the last 4 years.
That's right. Congressman, House Majority Whip, for what it's worth, the Breitbart audience is fully behind the SAVE Act, and we hope you all stay strong and make that happen.
I agree. Thank you, Mike.